Over the years, a lot of you that are sitting here in this audience, we have fought a lot of fights together, won a lot of causes, fights that the system told us we could not win. But I know of 3 unemployed former state Supreme Court justices here in Iowa that know what we can do when we unite. I want to talk to you tonight about what this election is really about. It's about something more than conservatism, the Constitution even. It's about something transcendent. It's about judgment. It's not about resume. It's not about experience. Those things are important. But what I want you to think about when you go to caucus tomorrow, when you bring people to your caucus site with you tomorrow, what I want you to be thinking about is judgment. The first is the judgment of history, his story. We are a great civilization, an exceptional civilization, but we stand on a historical brink as a people. We have more people on food stamps than the total population of Spain. 94 million Americans don't work. That's more people than live in countries like Egypt and the United Kingdom. We kill 4,000 babies a day. We don't know who's coming across the border, what harm they mean to do to us. How many of you feel as if you have to deprogram your children when they come home from school? We are at a brink here as a civilization. A place that all other great civilizations have come to right before they were tossed onto the scrap heap of history. We're going to vow tonight, every single one of us in this room, that will not happen on our watch. We will not be. We will not be the generation that Reagan warned us about, the generation that will have to look our children and grandchildren in the eye and tell them what it was once like in America when we were free. That will not happen on our watch. It will not happen on our watch, Iowa. The other judgment I want to talk to you about tonight is the judgment of the candidates. There are only 3 Republicans in this race who have any shot of being the President of the United States. And if you want to know what separates the 3 of them, it's that word again. It's judgment. A 70-year-old man who tweets like he's on Bieber fever is not a President of the United States, folks. Okay? That's not a president. It might make for one heck of a reality show. And it might feed $2 billion worth of the Democrat attack machine while we go down in flames and lose this fall, which is what will happen if he is nominated. But it is not the makings of a president of the United States. That's number 1. Then there's Marco Rubio. By all accounts, Marco Rubio should be the one you're celebrating tonight. He got started on this a couple of years ahead of Ted Cruz. He was the first insurgent Tea Party darling ahead of Ted Cruz. So why are you here holding Ted Cruz signs and cheering his name instead? It's that word again, judgment. Because the first test of Marco Rubio's readiness to be president was the Gang of 8. And Marco Rubio called me one day at home about 2 years ago to lobby me for over 30 minutes that this was a great idea. Except it was a great idea for who? The people breaking the law. After 30 minutes of this, I finally said, Marco, God bless you, I love you. Can you please tell me, you want me to go on the air and sell this to my audience? What's in it for them? What's in it for them? What's in it for the people that do most of the living and dying and bill paying in this country? What is in it for them? Why is compassion always measured by what's best for the people that break the law, not for the people who keep it and pay for them? He didn't have an answer to that question. He still doesn't have an answer to that question. And so when the rubber met the road, when he had to face the system, when his judgment was tested for the first time, He chose the system over us. And then you look at that word judgment again, and I go back to this last debate that we just had. And I watched a room stacked with establishment hacks. And the question of the ethanol subsidy comes up. And I watched Ted Cruz, without being snarky, that's kind of my job. I watched him without losing his poise or composure, being respectful, sounding like a president. But I watched him not pander, not back down, not take the bait, but sit there in a room of people targeting him with the Iowa caucuses and potentially his entire candidacy on the line. And you know what I heard him say? The same thing he's always said. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is the judgment of the president you are looking for. We need a general, but not Benedict Arnold, folks. We need George Washington. That's the general you're looking for. You're looking for the general who's going to take us out of this Valley Forge moment that we have now as a culture where many of us are wondering, can we win? Can we recover as a people? Can we be that shining city on the hill again? With the right leader we can, but not because that leader is special, but because he understands that what he stands for is, and the people he's fighting for, that's who is special. That's judgment. That's the judgment you're looking for right there. And now there's one more aspect of judgment that we need to talk about. This is the point where the young kids in the audience are going to say, we got to keep it real, okay? This judgment is us. What kind of judgment do we have? Are we having a tantrum here or an election? Sometimes I ask myself that question. Is this a tantrum or an election? Are we trying out for a reality show where we pretend to be something when the cameras are rolling and when we're on the island or on the house with our reality show castmates, and then we retreat to that cubby hole where we say what we really think and then go back outside? For Trump, he calls that Twitter. But we go back outside and then pretend everything's all copacetic again? Are we children or are we adults? Because ultimately, we're going to get the leaders we deserve. I believe this is the last Iowa caucus as we've known it. I've always believed that would happen. It's why I came in early for a candidate and have done everything I could do the last few months to help Ted Cruz win. Because this is our last chance. You've heard Steve King say before, this is very likely your last chance to actually vote for a constitutionalist for president. And not just one who's very principled, but one who can win. One who's got the same amount of cash on hand that the entire Republican National Committee has tonight. He is ready to go to war. And there's something else I want you to think about tonight. As you sleep on your decision, I want you three come on up for a second. Here are the other three reasons I endorse Ted Cruz, right here. These are our children. Now, I could have done what a lot of other guys in my line of work do, pretend to be objective when I'm not. I could have milked this thing for all kinds of media attention for a growing radio show and had all the candidates come on and pretended to be everybody's buddy. And that would have been good for ratings, would have been good for my bottom line. You know why I didn't do that? Because every night when I go home, I look at them. So I want all of you, I want you to look at your kids right now. I want you to think about the kids you have or are going to have, the grandkids you have or are going to have. And understand that the decision you're going to make tomorrow isn't about who can win, who's cool, who's got the most Twitter followers, who gives a rip. It's about who can lead. Who can lead? Who are you willing to entrust their future to? Your future to? Who do you trust? Who are you going to put the future of this country in the palm of their hands for this moment. To me, there's only one person who has the judgment to lead for a time such as this, and that is Ted Cruz. So I leave you with this. Leave no stone unturned, no phone call unmade, no email unsent, no door unknocked. This is it, Iowa. This is our last chance to mount an attack on the Death Star. If we don't get it right this time, we won't get another one. Fight the good fight. Keep the faith. And tomorrow, with the whole world watching, finish the race. Thank you.